All right. So, Marcel, I am getting wind that apparently some of these hoi polloi in the F1 were kind of mad with the security people because they didn't know who they were.
Interesting. I swear I've talked about this on the show before, but that was my biggest takeaway when I was hanging around the Paddock Club last year. Was this is a different type of money, bro.
I know.
Different type of money.
And that's what led me to Schmuckmacher, because it was Schumacher. Which Schumacher was it, Sean? What's his name?
Ralph Schumacher.
Ralph Schmuckmacher was complaining, and apparently he was probably one of those dudes walking around without a credential, and like, you don't know who I am. And before you came on, I went into this diatribe that F1 people better actually know their awareness, that we know Derrick Henry and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. We don't know F1 in this country, okay? Less than 1% of the people that know sports may know something about F1. The rest of us, it's like a little novelty. So, and you know how it is. Rich people, they have and there's a lot of that in F1. So I'm sure these clowns were walking around going, well, you don't know who I am? I don't need a credential. You can't do that to local security, bro.
You know what, though? Like,
I'm backing up local security on this one.
You know what, though? Like, the rich people, like really rich people, don't care about none of that. They don't really care about none of that. The rich mentality, and literally and figuratively rich, I don't care about that, bro. They got money. I don't care a shit if you know who they are or not.
Yeah, but if you gave him a hassle and you're not letting him in, it's like, how dare you? Don't you know who I am? Well, that's how he was acting. Schmuckmacher was acting like that, like, you don't know who I am. It's like, yo, bro, most of these people don't know any of you out there. So be nice to them, be courteous, and if you want access to something, well, then, dude, have a credential ready, and that way everybody's covered, bro. You know what I mean? It's just, these are people.
Like, yeah, that's like every now and then, like, I've gone into a practice facility, whether it's in Carolina, in Buffalo here, and I'll get stopped at the gate, and it'll be like, all right, man, like, come on, bro. Like, this is just like a pre-draft press conference.
Right.
Like, it ain't a whole lot of, I know you got to know who I am a little bit. You see me every day.
Right. Yeah, that's
like,
different.
In Buffalo, it really drove me crazy. Here, I understand it. Buffalo drove me nuts because I was like, I know I'm the only black man coming through the media entrance. I understand the hassle of like security giving you a crumb of a hard time, but you got to remember, like, if something goes down, God forbid, right? If somebody gets in that's not supposed to and does something terrible, does something horrible, then the world is going to come down like the wrath of God on the security detail. So I would rather annoy people and get bitched at rather than let everybody in and potentially aid in a shooting or a deadly event or any other horrible event. Right? It's security, bro. Like, do you not want security to be to secure the damn perimeter?
Yeah, man. It's your job, bro. I mean,
I might roll my eyes, but like, I've never like gone up to Anon and been like, and you have to talk to security. They didn't know who I was. Like, you roll your eyes. You're like, all right, man. Like, let me find a credential somewhere around here. Let me like. Some days, like, I think I didn't bring my daily credential during the off season. So I'm like opening my Twitter account and like putting it like next to my face. Like, I swear this is me. Now it doesn't matter because I lost the damn check mark and I'm not paying Elon for one. So I understand.
I was gonna pay for it because I really love the edit feature, but we have the edit feature now. They kept it. Did they? Yeah, dude, I've been able to edit a couple times because I always screw up all my posts.
Let me see.
All my posts. The other day I spelled stall STAHL instead of STAAL, and then I noticed it, and then I was able to change it. So it was like, I mean, I do this all the time. Like, I screw up my posts like all the time. So the edit is still there. That was the reason why I was thinking of paying for it, because it was such a cool feature.
I'm one of these like.
I find it a cool feature because I'm a total screw up. Okay, so personally, that's why.
Like, I'm one of the I guess I'm one of the like OG Twitter Blue users. I think I was one of the first people to pay for it. I was paying for it when it was $2.99 a month. Like I've been on it for a long time. I liked it. The edit feature was nice because it gives you like, and it was like a review feature. Really, it gave you like a 20 to 60 second window.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Like,
30 minutes.
No, I'm saying like right when you sent the tweet, it gave you like a window to like review, be like, oh shit, no, that's misspelled. That was cool. I liked that a lot. It annoyed me a little bit because like people were getting things out before me, but like speed doesn't matter in this business as much as people think it does. I liked being able to categorize my bookmarks. So I had one that was just reaction gifs. I had one that was like receipts. So like anybody who was talking shit, I just like scroll through receipts just to stay fresh on them. And then another one, I was working on one that was like tweets of the year, NFL tweets of the year. It would have been hard to actually get them out in the public because you can't make your bookmarks public like that. I enjoyed that though. Like certain features of it are cool. Now it's like the check mark, people with the check mark show up first under the replies. But now it's like usually like the worst type of person like that replies. Like, and so I'm seeing these dumbass responses first. And that's like that's still not enough for me to want to pay.
No,
8,
I know.
12, whatever. If ESPN offered, then I would do it. But we were told very clearly.
Yeah, but if we pay for it, isn't it a business expense for us? Because Twitter for me is pure business.
Probably.
I don't use Twitter for personal, pretty much. I mean, maybe
I'll give it a year. And I'll talk to my accountant next year and see like. I'll ask around, see how many people are claiming it. I think I'm sure it can be. But then where's the threshold? Like, do you need to be tweeting? Do 90% of your tweets need to be work related? Do 80%? Like, what is the? You know what I'm saying? So just get these damn tweets? What are
your tweets? Aren't they mostly they're all work, pretty much, right? Isn't it? Like I'm usually talking sports or answering somebody's question or something like that.
It was mostly Kings the past like month or so. It was mostly Kings. I tweeted about Ted Lasso today. Great episode last night.
That was an excellent episode.
Really good episode, man. That I was watching it with Haley, and we watch over like FaceTime and then like sync our videos.
By the way, it comes out now on Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday was Tuesday. We watched
yesterday was Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because last season it was Wednesday, and now it starts coming out on Tuesdays.
Hey, I'm a creature of habit. We watch on Wednesdays, damn it. But
we were watching on Wednesdays, but it all of a sudden started coming in on Tuesdays. So I was like, okay, well, we'll watch it on Tuesdays. Because on Wednesdays we used to watch Lasso and Mandalorian. Now Mandalorian's done, so
I need to get back into that. At this point, I think the whole thing happened, right? Like the whole season's out.
Yeah, and this is a really good season.
Perfect.
The Mandalorian season. Actually,
I'm watching season 2 of Bel-Air right now. When I'm done with that, I will hop over to Mandalorian.
I just started watching Succession for a few
that
episodes.
One, I'm definitely gonna let that play all the way out because
I
watched 10 minutes. I tried to watch 10 minutes of it on the elliptical when season 1 or season whatever we're on dropped.
It's a slow start.
I was like,
it's a slow start. It's a scene setter. The first episode and a half is like a scene setter, and then it starts to pick up and it starts to take its twist.
It took me 2 years to get into Succession, anyways. So like, just like The Sopranos, it took me years to get past the first episode.
I just started in Succession with the wife, so yeah, I'm way behind everybody else that's been watching that show. All right, let's get to a little Dolphin news. So far, we got a couple of games. Your thoughts on the? I would imagine there's going to be a couple of more, right? Because I would imagine that the Dolphins will be around 4 primetime games this year.
Well, let's say last year they had what? They had Steelers, they had Bengals, they had. There's one I'm forgetting about. Chargers got flexed. Was that it? Did they really only have 3? No. Bills also. They have back-to-back Sunday night footballs. If I remember correctly. So they had 4 last year. Yeah, I mean they're already at 2, and I tweeted this the other day. So we know We knew Dolphins Chiefs was going to get prime time. Of course. Dolphins Jets getting prime time, I think, was a pleasant surprise, especially that early in the season. Well, I guess particularly that early in the season. But that was a division game. Like, those were toss-ups. They still have 2 against the Bills. They've got Eagles. They got Cowboys. They got Giants. They got Ravens. They've got Chargers. Like, there are a lot of – if the Broncos are good, that could be an interesting game. Like, there's a lot of potential primetime candidates there. I would imagine Dolphins-Eagles gets a Sunday night or a Monday night treatment. I can't imagine that not. That's a huge game between 2 very interesting teams. Like, forget should be good. Like, the country cares about both of these teams. There's plenty of marketable stars. So yeah, I would imagine. And then it sounds like, you know, I'm not big into I'm not big into trying to piece together the whole schedule before it comes out. We literally get it in a few hours. Like, we'll get it then. But reportedly, they're going to be Sunday Night Football against the Patriots in week 2 as well. So that's 3 primetime games. 2 of them are just division games that, you know, could have gone either way. So I would expect a lot of nighttime kicks. It's kind of tough. Like, I quite enjoy the 1 p.m. kickoff, but you know, it's you can't. That's just selfishly from a work perspective. You can't deny from an atmosphere perspective. You can't deny the excitement of a primetime game under the lights or whatever this Frankfurt game. I hope that we get to go. We, as in me, I hope I get to go and see that firsthand. But this is an interesting team. There's high expectations for them, and I wouldn't be surprised to see 4, maybe even 5 primetime games by the end of the year.
I mean, well, it's kind of what we're expecting. They're kind of sexy. They've added Fangio, kind of add one hell of a coach on the defensive side of the ball. You figure Tua in his 2nd year, Tyreek, all of that. I'm expecting them to have several primetime games. Now, this is kind of the test, right? Because now it's up to the Dolphins to live up to those primetime games. Because, you know, growing up, Marcel, we were spoiled. The Dolphins were one of the, you know, marquee franchises. They, whether it was the Greasy days or Marino days, they were going to be on Monday Night Football like 3 times a year. They were going to be on Monday Night Football. Because back in those days, there was no Thursday or anything like that, no Sunday night either. And so they would get the Monday night games all the time. And then once Marino came out of the picture and the team kind of developed a terrible streak, they have kind of faded in the sunset and they haven't been that sexy team. Now you're back, but this is the test for the league. If they don't live up to it, and if this team doesn't live up to the hype, even the hype that I feel that they are, then you're not going to get a lot of them, you know, in the future. So you better shine on these primetime games. You better live up to the opportunity that the league is giving you, because if not, you're going to fall behind again.
No, I agree. I agree. But again, when you have this many personalities on the team, this many, I mean, let's call them superstars. Like, just not necessarily even just on the field, but like from a popularity standpoint, they're stars. Yeah, everybody knows Jalen Ramsey. Everybody knows Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows Xavier Howard. Everybody knows Tua now. Everybody knows Jalen Watt. Like, these are so many household name players that, like, you don't have to, like, force feed it down America's throat. Like, here's this niche team that's going to be really good. Like, that's why, like, the Bills in 2020 didn't get a lot, or 21 didn't get a lot of night primetime games, because it was like, you know, ultimately people just knew Josh Allen. Nobody knew the rest of the guys. Like, this is a star-studded team, and they're going to get that treatment. So I would expect Eagles, one of the Eagles or Cowboys is going to be nationally televised. Because of how last year went, I wouldn't be shocked if Ravens-Dolphins was as well. And then one of the Dolphins-Bills games is going to have to be primetime. Like, so that's like 4 or 5 right there. I would expect to see this team on the national stage.
When you look at movement right now, are we expecting anything else right now, or are we cruising till June 1st?
I would say, well, I mean, I came on here Monday and said they're cruising until June 1st, and then go and agree with they signed Tyler Kroft. So anything is possible per se. I'm still not expecting big splashy moves. They still have to sign their rookies. And then, I think they'll address the offensive line sometime in middle of the summer, middle of the offseason. But I don't think there's a huge rush right now. There's not I don't see gaping, glaring holes in this team. I know everybody's got kind of a difference of opinion in that, but I didn't see glaring holes entering the draft. I still don't see them now. I think if they're healthy, that this team is going to be really good. This team is good at basically every level, every position. There's some like you got to keep an eye on. Like you obviously got to keep an eye on tight end. You got to keep an eye on tackle. But there's none that like you're looking at and you're like, wow, like that's really going to sink them. Like 2021. When you looked at that team, you could see at receiver, it was like, Jesus, man. Like there's nothing without Jalen Waddle. There is nothing there. That's dangerous. I don't see that right now. I see a damn near complete team that is like any team in the NFL, reliant right now on its players staying healthy.
I'm with you there. Do we know anything about the Wilkins deal talks? We kind of expect something June 1st, I would imagine, when the cut comes with Jones. But do we know anything on any conversations going on? Because it's not like conversations are starting on June 1st. I would imagine something's going on.
They're still going, and I think that the Dolphins took kind of the first L here in allowing Dexter Lawrence to be signed first, because now that's the new number. And so it's kind of like a race now between Quentin Williams and Christian Wilkins as far as who's going to be that next guy signed. We already saw Lawrence. We've already seen Simmons in Tennessee. It's a matter of when, not if. We know the Dolphins want him back. We know Christian Wilkins wants to be here. It's just a matter of getting the numbers to line up. This isn't something I expect. This isn't something I think people need to worry about. It's not something to lose sleep over. Like I said, it is when, not if. I don't think he's the type of guy to hold out. It's not prudent for players to hold out nowadays anyways. So I think he will get his contract, man. Like you've got to show this locker room that when you, especially the homegrown guys, when you come in, you do your job, you do things the right way, you work hard, you get rewarded. And that is what Christian Wilkins, that's a step that he's at now. He deserves to be rewarded.
Let's hope so, man. What else has stood out to you? Anything from this schedule that you like? From what you've seen that's been announced? I personally don't play the schedule game. Well, this is going to be tough. That's going to be easy. That shit's too hard to predict. But is there anything sexy that you like from what's been announced?
Not really. I think Lions-Chiefs is going to be kind of interesting in week one. I don't know if that's just week one or if that's like the kickoff game. You know what I'm saying? Like the Thursday night.
That's the Thursday game.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. I think that's going to be a fun game to watch. A couple high-powered offenses there. From a Dolphins perspective, no. Like again, I'll be able to react more once the actual schedule is out. We know that it's going to be tough. For the same reason that they deserve these primetime games, or that you could imagine them getting these primetime games, is also tells you it's a tough schedule. Like a primetime game isn't supposed to be a blowout. It's supposed to be a matchup of two good teams. They got a lot of good teams on the schedule. The NFC East is going to be a tough matchup. Like that's a very interesting matchup for every team involved, AFC versus NFC East. Anytime you got to play the damn Chiefs, it's a tough schedule, man. Like anytime you got to travel cross country or internationally, it's a tough schedule. So I'm interested to see if they requested that bye week after, week 9, the week 9 Frankfurt game against Kansas City. Because if you remember 2 years ago, they didn't get the bye. They didn't ask for the bye after the London game, and it more or less tore them up.
Yeah.
So but either way, or actually, I mean, they lost to the Jaguars, but
they lost to Stanky Fingers. Yes.
Yeah. They lost to the Jaguars, but I mean, they did rattle off 6-7 wins in a row after that. Now that I think about it, but either way,
it was the easy part of the schedule. They were playing their scrubs.
Yeah,
so they picked up a bunch of cheap victories.
It's still taxing on a team to have to go, to have to fly out like that, adjust to so many different time zones, and then get right back on the horse and keep on playing without that week break. So hopefully, for their sake, they get that bye. It'll be also interesting to watch the LA game because they're in LA again. So I don't think they have. I think that's their only West Coast opponent. So there's not another scenario where they stay out there. But just going to be interesting to see where those games fly. I guess I'll give y'all one nugget. What I'm hearing. I'm hearing the Buffalo games are flipped from what they usually are. That Dolphins are going up there early in the season. I'm hearing week 4, and that Bills will be down here late week 18, give or take. So the sun debate, the snow debate, unfortunately, that ends last year.
Well, no, actually, the Bills are affected by snow and by heat, apparently. So they're the ones that have a problem with all kinds of weather. I mean, I saw the Dolphins play tough in the snow and play tough in the heat, but something happened with the Bills. They wilt in the winter and in the heat. I don't know.
I think the Bills were impacted by the heat more than the Dolphins were impacted by the snow last year. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I don't know. Something's going on with those Bills, cold or heat. It's a problem for them. Those Buffaloes don't adapt well, apparently. So,
yeah,
what do you got going? What do you got going on ESPN so folks can check you out?
I've got a shoot in about 10 minutes, and then tomorrow I'll be on our gambling show Bet to break down the Dolphins schedule. They want to know if the Dolphins can get above that 9.5 win over under. Again, well, we'll see. You know, that's been the hump that they've needed to break the past couple of years.
Tua stays healthy. They easily.
Yeah, they should. But we'll see how the schedule. We'll see how the schedule falls, and we'll make an informed opinion once I see that full schedule. But that's what we've got going on. And then, of course, tomorrow we're back at the facility for rookie camp.
And he stays healthy last year. They easily passed that number, but and it is what it is.
I don't know about easily. Like, I mean, they still they still lost 4 in a row with him. Like, it wasn't like he wasn't playing, or they're not 4. They still lost the 3 in a row.
They would have won more than they did.
4? It was.
They would have 3. Yeah, they would have won more than they did if he actually was healthy for those.
It was 4. It was
4 or 5 games. So
it was 4. But I mean, you could also argue if he wasn't concussed the second half of the Packers game, that they probably hold that out, and he doesn't throw 3 straight interceptions. So
yeah, kid stays healthy. Sky's the limit for this team. So that's all we got to hope for. All right, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN and catch him twice a week here. Marcel, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Marcel, Louis-Jacques, and folks, if you're dealing with the weather issues that have come up and you've got damage to your home or condo, or maybe there's some water damage, somebody's pipe broke, your pipe broke in your house, whatever it is, before you call any insurance company, please call the great people at Welt and Rheaume. Anywhere you are right now in Florida, doesn't matter. One of our listeners in Orlando hired Welt and Rheaume. We've got listeners all over. We got a listener actually in the Keys. They actually have an office in the Keys that hired Welt and Rheaume there. In fact, the neighbor had a pipe broken and then water was spilling and went into their house because the 2 houses are right next to each other. It's kind of like a duplex. And they ended up getting the damage from the other. They called Welt and Rheaume. They didn't call the insurance company. They sent out their adjusters. They said, yeah, you got a case. Here we go. And they handle it from there. They call the insurance company. You don't have to deal with it. Dude, life is tough enough as it is. You got to deal with everything at home and work and family and everything else. You got to also go chasing the insurance company. Forget that. Let Welt and Rheaume crush them for you like they did for us. Progressive was trying to screw us, and we just sicked those 2 dogs on them, Welt and Rheaume, brother, and those 2 junkyard dogs brought Progressive to their knees, okay, and got us the money that we needed to fix everything and fix it the right way. It's a joke what Progressive was doing to us. Do not deal with the insurance companies. And by the way, if you've got bankruptcy issues, they can help you out too, man. Criminal defense, any kind of insurance claims, you name it, they can help you, folks. Personal injury, you got hurt somewhere, call Welt and Rheaume. They'll take care of you. 954-966-4646.